Hello and welcome to Business Insider with Mario Toneguzzi on Calgary's Business. Joining me today is Larry Lizotte, who is Director of Business Development for NBi Solutions. Thanks for joining us today, Larry.
Thanks, Mario.
Let's start, Larry, with a little bit about what NBi is and what your efforts are around these days with the coronavirus pandemic.
Yeah, great, thanks. So NBi is a 20-year-strong Alberta-based technology company. We really help business grow through the use of technology and support them so they can focus on their core business. We spend a lot of time really thinking about how we can make our services better for our clients. And one of those ways that we're really proud of is a few years ago, we started pre-building in business continuity into our services. Excuse me, and business continuity is really the aspect of companies in a disaster or having some kind of issue being able to function as a business from anywhere. And one of that would be work from home. So when coronavirus hit, a lot of our clients, once they sent their people home, they had really little to no challenges. We were able to get them up and running very quickly. And the few problems we did have, we were able to solve fairly quickly for them. So we felt really good about that we had built that in, and it wasn't an afterthought. They didn't have to go into a real panic mode to be able to get everybody working, which allowed them to stay productive and continue their business best they could during these times. One of the other things that we really like to do at NBi is give back to the community. And when the coronavirus hit, we started to think about how we could help in the community. And one of those things that we came up with when we started thinking it through was, what the kids were doing and how, some of their struggles that they might be having, and especially kids that, may not have access to technology. And so we decided to purchase some laptops and give those out to community organizations that might be able to share that with their kids. The challenge we ran into, of course, was that everybody was trying to work from home. And so everybody had gone out and purchased all the laptops that were out there. And so we had a real tough time sourcing them. We were able to get through that, and we were able to only acquire about 10 laptops, which was fantastic. And we got those out to some needy kids. But it started us thinking how we could do more. And what we've decided to do is in the next couple of weeks, we're going to be hosting an event where we're going to ask the public to bring, lightly used or used laptops and tablets that we can take. We're going to disinfect them, we're going to rebuild them, get them usable, make sure they're secure, and we're going to try and get that out to as many kids as we possibly can in the community. What's important to understand though is that coronavirus wasn't really a kickoff for our community involvement. We've been doing that for years, and over the years we've sponsored many charities and different events through our Hyperbia platform. And we have some charities that run on that platform, and we support their entire business so that they can focus on the things that they need to achieve. And we're really, we're really proud local company, and we're proud of what we do both technically and for the community.
Tell me, Larry, you mentioned it. What is Hyperbia?
Yeah, great question. So a little bit more technical for you on this one, right? So Hyperbia really exists to help businesses leverage the power of technology by really enabling them to grow without getting into the complexities of building or buying or managing lots of infrastructure. That has a tendency sometimes to bog companies down, and they get concerned, or they're not sure which way they should go. And so we created this platform for that. It's really an open platform. And we feel it just really removes a lot of those barriers for business technologies. And it provides a fully managed, interconnected, accessible, secured environment, and allows clients to really run in a local or cloud or what we call a hybrid deployment, so that they can function wherever they want to. We like to refer to it as a run anywhere platform. And by a run anywhere platform, it means that it's a true hybrid solution where, they can locate their systems either on premise, in your business. You can locate it in our data center, or you can put it into public cloud. and really where it makes the most economical and technical sense for you to run those systems. So we like to refer to it as the right technologies in the right place at the right time. Like I said, some companies prefer to run their or they need to run their business systems locally, right in their physical locations. Others, they may want to run in a public cloud environment, or they want to run locally hosted. By enabling that, we give them the choice to do it the best way that it supports their business. Hyperbia really came about, about us thinking about how we could help our clients. And so when we built up the platform, we decided, that it made sense to actually open it up to other technology companies. And so we have both technology companies that have their clients on the platform, and we have our own direct clients on there. And either way, works. So the platform itself has been very successful. We have, like I said, several technology companies as well as direct NBi clients using it. And we're continuing to grow out that platform. So we're putting services like network as a service, storage as a service. Like I mentioned earlier, we already have backup and business continuity as part of that. And so we're really impressed with things people have been able to use that platform for.
As a business owner, what kind of questions should I be asking these days before making any sort of decisions?
Why? And that's not to you. One of the biggest questions, is really to ask why you want to do this. So what are the benefits? Why am I buying this technology? Am I buying this technology because it's cool and it's fun? That's a valid reason. But, in most cases, especially today, business owners need to just stop and ask why they want to do what they're doing. And my feeling is when you start to ask those questions, it really helps then when you sit down with vendors and have the conversation about different products and services that you're looking at purchasing. I've seen too many times where companies rush out and buy technology, whether or not, it was just because it was the latest, greatest thing. They were told they should buy it. They felt, some need that somebody had suggested this is the best thing ever. And in a lot of cases, what happens is that they just land up buying technology but never implementing. And so it really doesn't serve a great purpose for them. One of the big things that's happening out there today, and it's almost an old saying now, but data is the new oil. And being able to take systems and drive into your business and understand your business from a data perspective and your customers and your clients and taking that data and becoming more competitive with it is really what drives some of those decisions. So there's a lot of great technology out there. You just have to be sure that it's actually fitting what you need it to be. I'm not talking about things like email or very basic tools that everybody should be running, right? A great example of efficiencies is that I know, and I've talked to several companies already that are really struggling right now from working from home, and it's because they didn't digitize a lot of their files, they didn't digitize a lot of their environment, and so now not being able to go into the office, they're really held hostage. They can do a little bit, but they really can't get to the data that they need to get to. And so you want to look at tools that really enhance your business, right? And move it forward and be able to do things easier. Build versus buy. This is a real big one for a lot of people. There's also the open source kind of community out there, which is kind of a hybrid of both those. But you really want to stop there and ask yourself, do you want to get in a build environment, or do you just like off the shelf kind of software? And in some cases, you may want to take a piece of software and customize it. It's really, important that you understand that not all software can be customized. And as we move more to cloud and, SaaS-based type applications, not all of it can be customized. And so again, you need to go through that evaluation. And do you want to get into a big development project? Do you want to, customize and be reliant upon outside organizations to help you in those kind of questions? I think another really super good question is really, and again, this would be for more people that already have a technology team or they have, a technology organization that they're dealing with, is really what's your view of technology and your technology group. If you're looking at it as a cost center, and just purely, this thing costs me money. It costs me money every time I have to buy a new laptop, I have to buy new software, you're probably not getting a lot of value out of your technology. On the reverse side of that, I've seen many companies that look at their technology investment as part of their business. They're investing in technology to help them drive it forward. They're looking at their technology group or their technology vendor for advice. They're looking, forward to taking the technology investment and actually helping it with the business. And I've seen some businesses turn that into a line of business where technology actually contributes to the bottom dollar. So, you really want to ask a lot of questions and then bring your vendors in and start having conversations about what it is that you want to achieve.
So how do I find the right solutions for my business? I'm just a typical entrepreneur who has a business selling whatever widgets are out there, right?
Yeah.
It can be really overwhelming with all these options and different solutions out there. So how do I find the right ones for me?
Yeah, great question. So the first thing I'm going to say is, again, I'm going back to what we just discussed. It's really asking the why, right? And identifying to yourself what it is you want to achieve. There's a lot of choices out there. There's no question, and a lot of really good technology. But as we discussed, right, having that clear understanding of what you need from technology really allows you to become more educated and allows you to have a conversation with your vendors that, clarifies for you whether or not this is going to be a fit. Because every solution out there isn't a fit for you. Every company is unique in where they're driving to, what their business is, and what they want to do with that technology. So by understanding those requirements, it's going to be clear to you, or become very clear to you quickly, on what the right solution is. You need to also, as I mentioned before, once you pick a solution that looks like it's going to be the one for you, that's going to help you move forward, take some time, invest some time into it, test it, see if it's doing what you want it to do. If it's not, don't be afraid to change, right? Change that technology out, go to something that seems to fit for you better. And then when you find it and it's time to implement, do a full implementation, including training. A lot of people really skip the training piece, and it's really unfortunate, because what happens is that you're using 10% of a tool. I mean, the numbers that Microsoft has published many times in the past, especially when people were really heavily invested in Excel and doing big financial spreadsheets, 90% of the people use 10% of that application. It's extremely powerful. And, in years gone by, there was a lot of things that were built, and a lot of companies still actually exist and function on Excel. We've moved way past that. And, there's a lot of new technology out there. But you really want to invest the time, the effort, because you're spending a lot of money on technology. And you want to make it effective, and you want to help it. You want it to help your business grow. And again, I'll just say that, look for training, look for that, and look for those vendors that are willing to come in and spend time with you and educate you on what their tools can do.
Now, we've gone through some tough times here in Alberta, obviously, in the last 5 to 6 years now, with the oil patch struggling severely. It's been our bread and butter industry for decades, right?
Yeah.
What part do you see that the technology sector playing in the recovery of Alberta and its economy going forward?
Yeah, fantastic question, Mario, and probably too long of an answer. Technology is really so interwoven into our world now that it's virtually impossible for a business to function without it. It's a powerful tool that really enables us to innovate, create new ideas, create new industries and products, and really helps us to be more competitive. One of the biggest challenges that we've had in Alberta over the last number of years, beside the economy, which has probably had an impact to this, is that we've really allowed ourselves to fall behind on new and emerging technologies. Compared to many other cities throughout North America, we're not leading edge anymore. We tend to be ultra conservative in our approach to new technologies versus other cities, versus other jurisdictions, which really has a negative impact, both competitively and in the growth of our skill set. And we really need to change that. We need to be adopting some of those technologies quicker. We need to be looking for ways to really enhance that environment and become more competitive again. We're recognized, and as you know, you've been in Calgary many years, right? We're recognized as an international powerhouse around energy. And in my view, we just need to continue that technology innovation in both, the traditional and the non-traditional sources of that. And technology is going to help to drive those. It drives more efficiencies, it drives better ways of doing things. We need to figure out new ways to support those emerging companies that are trying to work on that technology in this province. And by the way, there's some great things happening in this province. The problem with it is that it just gets overshadowed and we don't hear about them. I know of several amazing technology companies that have grown up in Alberta. They've exported their knowledge, they've exported their software, they're doing great things out there, but it's just really never heard. We don't hear about them because we hear, that very singular industry kind of talk, and we just need to break that, right? We need to look for ways to allow companies to get really competitive, start building on those emerging technologies, those emerging new ideas, utilize some of the fantastic technology that's out there. And so, like I said, I'm not suggesting we don't have anything great happening in the province. We sure do, right? We have some really smart, talented people that live and work in this province, and we need to really get behind that, both from a technical and non-technical perspective. I mean, there's some, there's some great food ag businesses that I've met, and I'm so impressed with what they're doing. They're exporting their products all across Canada. And, I ran into them in BC and in different places like that. The other thing that I'm really passionate about, and I think is really sad, is what's happening around small business today. We need to figure out very quickly how we're going to rebuild and support our small business community. They're the backbone of our economy. We need to get new technologies and training and help them to become more competitive and compete on a bigger scale. Those small businesses will support the growth of this province. So for companies like NBi, that's us, right? We're going to continue to focus on what we do best, right? And that's really in providing the best possible help we can give to our clients, allowing them really to grow and emerge and produce and make new things, that we can look forward to. Our focus has always been building business systems and solutions, and that's where we think we can add the most value to it. And lastly, I'm just going to close with that once we get through this, we must buy local. I think it's going to become so important that we support our local neighborhood businesses, whether that be technology, the grocery store, the little Chinese food, restaurants that we've all loved. We need to get out there and do it. I know we can't do it today. We're on an online kind of shopping thing, but once that's over, we really need to focus there. We're going to continue our focus in the small, medium-sized business enterprise because we have some solutions there that we know will help, and we're just going to continue to provide the best advice we can.
Okay, thanks very much for joining us today, Larry.
Thank you, Mario.
That was Larry Lizotte, who is Director of Business Development for NBi Solutions. That has been Business Insider with Mario Tonaguzzi on Calgary's Business. Thanks for joining us today.